students/teachers of Reddit. What's the best backquote forgot to turn off the mic story during virtual learning? I had to defend my thesis over Zoom, and many professors came into the call to watch. My thesis was about immune response in fish to parasites. One professor joined late and forgot to mute her mic, and we got treated to this little gem. SHHHH. Mommy is learning about fish parasites, which is what you'll get if you don't stop peeing in the koi pond. Apostrophe. Love this one. A girl's mom. Who the F you on the computer FO this early in the morning? And asking the same thing over and over. Teacher, I think your mic is on. This is the one thing I did not sign up for as a teacher. I'd be doing office hours or one-on-one conference with students and their parents would be screaming at them to stop playing games and fucking around and come down to do X, Y or Z. One father's shoulder rushed into the student's room to scream about a dirty mug that was in the sink. Then started screaming questions about who they were talking to and was this a sex thing. Your kid is 20 and taking college classes and trapped at home because the dorm shut. Some guy's mother started yelling at him, turn down the freaking sound. I'm so sick of listening to your classes the whole day. Go to the balcony and continue from there or just bloody drop out of uni along with a set of few swear words. Our professor muted him, so I don't really know what happened next. That's horrible. So horrible. I hope he's okay. When I was doing an online algebra camp, the teacher forgot to turn off his mic while we were supposed to be doing some problems. He said I fucking hate math. Apostrophe. As a math major I can confirm that the better you are at math the more you hate it. As someone extremely shitty at math, I can confirm that it goes both ways. I'm okay at math, but goddamn do I fucking hate it. English Zoom call. Teacher was holding us like 15 plus minutes after the period had ended. She said something along the lines of keep working arduously, and I responded with, if she says arduously one more time I'm going to flip a table. I was not on mute. Did you arduously flip a table? I wish I could say yes, but I was too mortified at the time to flip a table, much less arduously. I teach for an online university that requires me to conduct a weekly live session. One morning I was lecturing and a student popped in late. I said, hello. Student name. Thanks for joining us, she said. Don't say my name, bitch. Just before she realized her mic was on and turned it off. I just laughed. All future interactions with her need to be prefaced with, yes, she who must not be named. Apostrophe. The unnamed heathen child. The bee we'll never know the name of. Girl forgot to turn off her mic and started screaming at her parents in Chinese. I wish I understood what she said. After a few minutes, she gasped loudly when she finds out she didn't mute it. Good thing not many people understood. It was Chinese class. Op is just failing. It was China. Op is just dumb. It was China. Op is just Google Translate. In one of my classes, this girl wrote in the Zoom chat, this is so fucking boring, not realizing that the professor could see it. How stupid do you have to be to do that? I mean, it literally says, to everyone. Wrong window? Maybe she also had a private group chat going with friends. Pro tip, there's no such thing as a private chat group in Zoom. At the end of the meeting, the host can access the transcripts of all chats, including private chats. Edit. It appears our 8 people were incorrect during training. Apologies for the misinformation. But for all of you who are freaking out right now, maybe be smart and use a second app to chat with your friends and colleagues during Zoom meetings and class. Don't F around on apps that another person has primary access to. What? People do not know this. I guarantee it. My office has switched from Zoom to Teams, but I'm always afraid of typing commentary in the meeting chat vs a private one. In a math class I was in last year, we were taking a test, which you have to turn your mic on for their way of trying to prevent cheating. Some girl apparently forgot that hers was on and started belting out Stand By You by Rachel Platten at the top of her lungs. It went on for the entire song, and she was still humming it when I finished the test and left the call. My sweet old Russian professor had us do the same thing for our final. At one point text-to-speech for Google Translate goes off saying 2011, which was one of the years we had to translate into Russian. The girl got away with saying oh sorry Siri went off for some reason. So I have one. I just did 8 hours Zoom calls for 7 weeks training for a new project. On the second week, a man unmutes his call. Farts the longest fart I've ever heard in my life. Then when he finishes, mutes the call. I can see others laughing while muted at his fatal error of thinking he wasn't muted, and so he went to mute his call. I found this to be the highlight of the week. But the following week the guy does it again. Honestly, the second time I laughed, but then started to wonder if it was some kind of power move. It was definitely a power move to assert dominance. One time in an art class, separate from my school, my dad knocked on my door. It was dead silent at that point. Everyone was working on their projects. I clicked the mute button and yelled what? Turns out my mic was already muted and I turned it on. I startled the entire class and the teacher asked if I was okay. My son was in a class and I thought his mic was muted. I had cut myself and walked over to gross him out and said, "Son, there's so much blood." And he responded, "You're gonna get blood on me." His class went silent and the teacher asked if he was okay. Oops, we laughed about it later. Reminds me of the time when my dad axed his leg on accident and then went up to my sister, gushing blood, and told her he had a boo-boo and to kiss it. Mayo, she freaked out to say the least. What the F is up with dads? Also, why does it seem like there's only two kinds of dads? The ones that can make jokes out of everything, and the ones that get mad over the slightest inconvenience? My dad is both Mayo. GR3 kid stopped in the middle of the class meeting and took his laptop to the bathroom with him. He sat on the toilet for the rest of the meeting. Every single grade 3 parent just simultaneously wondered if this was their kid. I promise. During my English class, this one girl forgot to mute herself while my teacher was talking. She almost deafened all of us on the Zoom call answering her mother's questions. Her mother, from a distance, "What class are you in?" Her, yelling, "English." Her mother, "Oh, the hot teacher." Her, "Yeah, that guy now." Even I'll admit my teacher is fairly attractive, but it does take it to another level when you get your own mother involved. Thankfully, our teacher is a chill guy and thought the whole thing was just kind of funny, and kind of just gave a general reminder to the class to keep mics muted. She didn't say anything for the rest of the class. Hell, it probably made his week. Even good looking guys don't get that many compliments, so yeah, your hair looks nice. Lol, imagine the person you replied to was bald. Dude, my one teacher forgot to turn off his camera and his son was changing in the background and the son kept on looking at the camera. I remember a similar question where a mom answered that she was taking a Zoom call in the garden until a coworker mentioned that there was a naked kid skateboarding behind her. Bart Simpson. Bountiful P. Amen. I was producing a video for some university professors on a specific medical thing for a virtual learning course. I was all set up to shoot the process, and the teachers excused themselves to the next office to regroup and have a chat. I already had their wireless lav mix attached and fed to my camera, so when I sat down at the camera and put on my headphones I immediately heard their conversation. They were criticizing me, saying they couldn't believe they hired someone so young, inexperienced in that particular medical field, how I looked, how I asked questions, etc. Oops, at least I made them a fine video. These days I don't put my headphones on until we're about to shoot. I would have been tempted, when they came back, to say alright, since we already set the mic levels we should be good to begin, and watch the creeping realization. I like the subtlety. Just say that the mics are working, but without confirming that you put the headphones on. Maybe have them around your neck. Then let them agonize for weeks while they are trying to go to sleep and their brain is cringe wondering if you heard them or not. Yeah, it has a nice creeping slow burn quality. You can watch it creep through the group.